Man, oh man. Let's get right to it. Took a week off training, deloaded before that. Took a week off, almost a week off, and then we're back at it, and we're starting to just build up momentum as we start up this next training block. Should go for about 8 weeks before we have to deload again. I'm assuming we will see. We'll deload a bit earlier if we have to, or push it back a little bit if we're feeling good and we're progressing within reason on both ends. So you know how I roll. I love the inverted row, and you guys who have followed long enough kind of know why. Hey, when you're hanging in that position, scapula's wide open. That's the first thing that breaks, which is what you want on a row. Your back is chilling, so you can save it for all the fun lifts. And it's a little bit harder than you think. Quite proud of this, being able to add this much weight to my setup. Hey, those quads, when I sat down, you guys saw that like front hump? That's new. I don't know where that came from, but that's new. That rec fem has been growing. But yeah, aside from this, what is going to be the spin we take on this one today? Off season is boring. It's probably it can be, man. It can be. It's just like the same thing over and over again. But I mean, the ones that are great at anything, man. Like that's the one thing that they're just relentless about, is getting their practice in. I think it was Eric Helms who described this sport in one of those seminars that we did in Hong Kong, or it might have been Hong Kong or Singapore, one of those two places. But it's like bodybuilding is like that sport where like practice just never ends. You're always practicing bodybuilding, and especially with an off season, it's just so, man, yeah, it's like watching paint dry. Like if there ever is a time to use that old cliche, it's then. Yeah, lots of B-roll for you guys, because that's, to be honest, that's kind of sort of how I'm feeling. So I'm gonna talk over a lot of this stuff. It's just kind of me putting in the work, doing that same thing over and over and over again. That hey, like, you didn't get your practice in, you didn't put in hours, it's gonna show once you are on that stage. So I don't want that to happen. So it's been, in many ways, no, I mean, I'm still in their focus, and I'm going after it, and like I enjoy my training, but man, yeah, I don't think I've had an off season in recent memory where I've had to create a bunch of like micro goals, little checkpoints along the way, in order to just keep me engaged. Usually just the act of going to the gym, pushing myself, and eventually doing things I've never done before. If I just keep doing that, what I'm supposed to be doing, is enough for me. But this one's been a little different, and I think just because I know how important it is to guess my footprint as an athlete. Like I feel like I really need to bring it this next time I compete. And I don't want to let myself down first and foremost, but then also like my team, people who believe in me. So there is some immense pressure. Don't feel bad. I think it's good. It's a good thing to have that sort of pressure, and have people, including yourself, who really want you to step up. Okay, so just really briefly, check that out, man. That was 425 for a set of 2. It was supposed to be just 1, put it back, and then work off that max. But like I think I could 2 with like 3 reps to spare, so I did it. And damn, like I think the biggest thing about the good morning, it's just it's made me believe that I'm not as hurt as I thought I might be. Like things that I've jacked up in my lower back, that they're yeah, we're going to make it basically. But anyhow, pressure, I love it. It's like you need to be pushed I feel like this. That's one thing that I'm very grateful for, is that growing up, like I was pushed to get more out of myself, and take on more, and do more, and do it better. And I'm very blessed in some ways that some of you guys, like, man, have expectations from me that it just freak me out. But I think first and foremost, I freak myself out a lot with what it is that I ask from myself at times. So yeah, like, yeah, pressure be stressing, man. But I think it really comes down to how you frame that stress. Right? Like, this is stressful as fuck, what's going on right here, but I frame it as a good time, and how I think about how it's going to make me better. And I guess the same thing can be said about all the little ins and outs of this bodybuilding thing. This is where I should have stopped this on this day. So this was 445, single RP7, that's all I wanted. But no, I'm like, I feel extra twitchy, and I felt like that was the first set that actually felt right. This is me completely fumbling the the training instructions that I gave myself, which is hit a single at 7, leave it there, and then, you know, work off that single. But no, yeah, check that out. I decided to yeah, go ahead and try 465. It was high, the pause sucked, and again, I mean, look how much these bars bend. At a certain point, they just, oh god, they're not very friendly to anyone who's squatting. I'd say like past 440 for the most part. So anyhow, still, the fact that I can do that, I could have executed that, but I mean, it could have waited. It could have happened next week, the week after. At some point it would have happened, maybe even more, and it would have been done right. So again, not always perfect. I make some decisions sometimes, and that's how it goes. So yeah, that's honestly, like, strength progression is probably the one thing that is distracting me from everything. Again, like, not distracting me, because I know what I need to do, and I have these expectations of what I feel, or like projections of what I feel that my physique should look like next time I compete. And I mean, I'm getting to work on it. I'm being proactive. But in the meantime, like, the strength progressions and seeing that has kept something that can sometimes be quite stressful just really fun. So that's the situation, folks. Hey, calf raises, pause. If you're not pausing at the bottom, you're not really doing calves, in my humble opinion. Also, this thing helps me a lot with my squat mobility, you know. I mentioned this before. If there is one thing that I've noticed in my now 36-year-old body that wasn't like that before, is probably the fact that, yeah, my ankles are just, they've gotten a little stiffer. That used to not be a thing. Arms all day, that's the one thing. There's literally not a day that I'm in the gym where I'm not doing some sets of arms, like some arms in some ways. So this was my posterior chain day, and you can tell because I messed up the camera settings. Everything looks like yeah, like pee in the background, basically. But yeah, I messed up the settings in the camera, didn't know how to fix them, had to roll with that. But yeah, I'm getting my curl on, because again, these arms, they're not like my quads. They don't like to cooperate. So adding a little bit more volume to those, and an easy way to introduce that in has been, yeah, to just do them every single day. And hey, I get to leave with an arm pump. I do them at the end, so it's not a bad gig. So yeah, and man, to be honest, yeah, look, that elbow is still bothering me. It doesn't bother me when I row, when I curl, but it's still there. I had an epiphany. So if I had to pick, it's just like all things, like one movement that I think does the most for my pushing muscles, especially my pecs, it's probably going to be the dips. And we brought those back in as we're waiting for this elbow to heal up. It's pretty close. Again, it's about 80%, I'd say, on a good day. But it'll be okay in like 2 months. But in the meantime, I've been doing dips like anywhere between, which you'll see in a sec, anywhere between 4 to 7 sets per training session. And they've just been, I work around how, what I can handle at that point, like structurally speaking. But yeah, see, triceps, they flatten out a little bit. You'll see in a few months they'll come back and they'll look halfway decent. But right here, it's like, man, the back of my shirt is loose. It's like saggy pants on like the leg extension warriors in the back, right? That's kind of what my triceps looking like. So yeah, arms basically every single day. And here are my dips. They're high rep, no added load, because yeah, just get in close proximity to failure, or somewhat close, like, you know, RPE 6 to 9 with high reps, and it'll do. And it's gonna help me get that thing together, so I can eventually just throw in some movements that I like. I love dips. They feel good, they feel effective, they feel healthy. My joints love them, but yeah, they're much rather be dumbbell pressing in terms of just sheer joy. So yeah, everything is going well. I feel the pressure, but in a good way. I'm framing it right. Again, it's like, this is stressing, right? This is stressing, but we frame it correctly. And there's a lesson in that, right? There's a lesson in regards to how, when, you know, stuff happens in life, or when we have just too much on our plate, it's like, hey, if you get all this done, and you not just get it done, but you thrive and you succeed, it's gonna put you in a good place, man. It can, anyways. So yeah, like, that's this self-inflicted stuff. We can learn a little bit from that. So I'm trying to get better at that every single day myself. So anyhow, that's my check-in. Gonna leave it at that. Put this out for you guys, and yeah, it's gonna get better. I'm only gonna get stronger from here. You'll see. But anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. That's where we're at right now.